Giving it all we got, giving it all we can, giving it all we got. Oh, climbing up to the top of the world, no fear, we're gonna make it. Everything we want is ours. Whoa.
Hey guys, how you doing? Uncle Craig here on the Thai farm, getting it done in another day, and glorious sunshine today, so that was pretty good. I don't think it was sunny or in the first thing in the morning, but anyway, what I've been up to. So yesterday I worked on the shop house here on electrical. When I say electrical, I just mean these right here. I put these front lights on here, and it took me all day. And I'm actually not even finished, because when I was, I drilled the hole in the cement to, for the screw, right, for the anchor screw. And when I drilled it in here, it freaking busted open. So I had to re-cement that this morning and wait for that to get all dry, and of course got to paint it up. But initially I thought it'd be easy enough. I had a, if you've been watching, when I put the electrical in this canopy, I had put an extra lead. I put a pipe here, and I had the pipe going up, and then I had it going all the way out over here. And I basically just had some live wire hanging out here. I thought maybe I'd attach a light later or do something. But I said, you know what, wait a minute, that's kind of like the length I need. I'm always trying to do stuff with the extra stuff I have or whatever. I don't want to go out and buy, 500 meters of wire again. So I pulled that out, and then I ran it all the way over here, and then I ran it up here, and then down and down, and then to the lights. And I thought, well, I need a switch, So I thought, well, I can just put a switch, come put a switch over here or something. Then I decided, shit, I don't want the switch inside or outside. So I decided to put it, just inside the door next to the lights that you turn on the house with, right? Which meant that I had to disconnect it, because I had it tapped into this wall socket, right? So I disconnected it there and pulled all the wire through here, took all that down, and then I went over here, put it actually in the middle. I need to put a box on this still, and I painted it silver, but put it in the middle because I had the pipe come here, and I took this panel off, and then I ran it up there so I could go through the roof canopy and and bring it into the shop house. So that's where I brought it in. That pipe was already there, but you can see the wire. So I brought the wire down, and I put it in this extra box. And for the life of me, every switch I was using just was not working, man. Although this one is it's just a simple toggle switch. I don't know what they call that, a single bar, something like that. You just put the hot lead. You just cut the hot lead and put it there and there, and the ground lead, you just let it bypass. But anyway, I was using different, I was still using a rocker switch, but the one that has 4, and God, no matter what, it just wasn't. It kept tripping the breaker, man. I'm not an electrician, but I'm not an idiot. I felt like one yesterday. It took me all day, and then I just said, fuck it, I put on the rocker switch there, and that worked. But I'm gonna go to Global and get me a single switch, for that box I installed that's like the rocker switch. But anyway, I was exhausted yesterday from doing that. And I've made a few videos, but I think I mentioned in probably one of these videos, maybe I'll put them all together in this video. Hack them all up, put them all together. Because I talked about my computer took a big old crap And so I fortunately I ordered one. I have an old computer. I found an old one guy in down there in Bangkok, and he carried it up, shipped it up to me. I got it yesterday. He shipped it the same day, like noon, and then I got it yesterday. And then I set it up, and sure enough, I was able to pick my hard drive out of my old one, which is a 2 terabyte hard drive. The one he gave me was only 500 gigabyte. But swap out that, and I've added some additional memory because I had memory. So works great, man. I'm so happy about that. I think in the previous video, or in this video, I'll show you that I wanted to work with my counterbow heads to put the metal around it, and I think that's kind of what metal's left over, and to put a metal frame or cage around the counterbow head so that I can mount it to the front gate posts up there, and they won't get pinched, right? So here I got one done. We'll check it out. Boom! Look at that. That's like the Hannibal Lecter of carabao heads. So that's what I did. I really just put the metal cage, or first I just actually made that ring. And I did use a rope as a measuring tape. Made the, if I can get it, just made this metal ring. It's not perfect, doesn't have to be, but welded that together, and then I just slip it on the nose like that, and then I cut 2 pieces of metal here, and really I just bend it over my knee. And I was going to go through the eye right here, but then that would have been weird. I mean, it didn't come out right. So I go through another back part of the skull, and then I come under here, and I bend it a little bit so it goes right underneath there. And then the same for the other side. And then I just weld them in place. And that seems to work because I did it for that one. And it's all right. Now, once I finish this one, I really need to think about how I'm going to attach it to the gate, because I don't have electricity up there yet. It might be that now's the time when I got to call the electrician to run a line from the street meter, after the meter I should say, but to run a line from or one from my closest post back to the gate so that I can have a plug there. I could probably do a plug because ultimately I want to put the the power unit for the gate, right, to make the gate remote control. But if I have power up there, I can weld up there. But I think I need to put I'm going to design, I'm going to use angle iron and go ahead and make a square box frame around each post. It'll add to the aesthetic appearance, but more significantly, that post or that metal frame will give me something good to weld this to, weld the carabao heads to. They have there are the metal bars coming up out of the cement posts that were there from the top, and I could bend them over and weld to that. But if that's all I did, then somebody could really come in and just cut those little metal post pieces. You could probably do that with channel locks or something. Not channel locks, but bolt cutters, and then it'd be gone. So what I'm gonna do is if I get that metal cage, metal frame, set this carabao head up in there, then I can pass through the carabao head on the back side, trapping both of those metal bars that I have around it, and then weld that whole thing to both sides of the metal cage going down. So pretty much it ain't going nowhere. But I'm tired. I also want to, you know, I need to get a haircut, trim my mustache. When my hair gets long, I start feeling old. My fan's blowing on me right now. I don't know if the GoPro's picking that up. I got the foam cover on it, so it kind of protects it a little bit. Anyway, let's get to bending some metal. Let's see if I can't get this second head situated with his face mask. Almost like from here, whatever. Looks like what's that movie? Oh, like Mad Max or something. You know, Thunderdome. All right, man. I'll get back at you. Well, that's about it. This one was a little, I don't know, a little tricky. I hope it doesn't come unsprung. You know, I'm not a professional welder, alright? But hey, man, and this flat iron, this flat bar, it melts pretty easy. Even I got it turned on low on the arc and everything, but I don't know. You know, it's hard to see, so we'll have to see what it looks like. Anyway, oh, my eyes are flickering. Well, in my shop, I think I showed, and if I put this video together with them other videos, I showed you how I clean my shop. Uncle Craig here, in my shop, in my little shop of horrors this morning. Somebody asked me the question, what do I do when I'm not making videos? Well, as you might know from this channel, I don't always make videos. I don't make videos every day. I think when I was building the shop house and all that, when I first came here, I was, you know, probably trying to record every day, but even then, you get too busy, man. You get into your thing and you don't want to do it. And today, it's also another rainy day, although it's not raining right now. It does look like it's gonna again for the third day in a row, and so I do, you know, need to keep busy, so I keep busy. And one of the places I come to is my shop, because it's always in disarray and there's always stuff I can do and clean. And it's like today, what's that? Today I decided I was going to clean this mess. I don't know if you can see this. You probably see it. Let me see my hands. Yeah. So it's just a bunch of stuff. I had these, you know, these bins underneath my tool area that I would just throw stuff in or whatever, and you know, from time to time you got to clean them out, and also because they collect dust, and you know, wiping dust off of stuff, bummer. But what I found was that simple paintbrush, especially the kind that are like, this one's like that silk or whatever it is, some kind of satin brush or something. But being able to just brush it off like this, it gets in all the different cracks and stuff, and it is excellent for, you know, cleaning out the little cracks and all that stuff that otherwise you can't wipe. Even if you sprayed it with water or cleaner or something like that, you wouldn't get it, man. But with a paintbrush, it seems to get everywhere, and I like that. I like that a lot. But dust, I got the fan going on in the back of me for two reasons. One, because if I'm working here, I get a lot of dust. You might as well keep it blowing and circulate itself out of here, maybe. Fortunately, I'm not one of those people who sneeze from dust, like, you know, like really bad allergy with dust or something. So, don't have to worry about that. But I do worry about the rain because it makes me sneeze sometimes. I can't breathe. Woo! One of the things that helped me in organizing things, and of course you probably all have something going on, especially if you have a shop or something, or even in your kitchen. I mean, you have these plastic Tupperware, if you want to call them. These are cool because they have screw-on top, and I like the screw-on better because the ones that you have that are just sealed, like, you know, this is an old waterproof cement bucket, but you know, it's got a seal on the top. But just like Tupperware, you know, you're pulling that on and off, on and off, on and off, the seal goes away, and it's not as good, especially if it falls over with force, you know, like with nails and stuff anyway. Or even if, like, if you're in the kitchen, you got, you know, heavy flour or something, I don't know, in there, and if it falls over, it'll pop that Tupperware top off. But the screw-on is good. These I bought from the 20 baht store. They're 20 baht. They actually, and the small ones too. Actually, the small ones are 15 baht. I use mostly all the small ones for my nails, but the big ones I use for bigger groups of screws, different size screws and anchors. If I put one for every size screw, I'd have 100 of them. But when they come, when you buy them from that 20 baht store, they actually come with a little spoon in them because they're for kitchen. At least that's the way they're selling them in there. You know, hot pepper and MSG and sugar or whatever, and all the typical things you have probably in a Thai restaurant. But I don't need spoons, so I just probably usually throw those away. My wife has a million of them. I probably could hang them all and make some kind of wind turbine. But man, that's another project. During the times when I can't go outside in the rain and build something, you know, I'll try to maybe build something in the shop if I have enough space or the idea of the room or whatever. Otherwise, I just get in here and I try and organize things to be more efficient, you know, later on when I need to get in here and do stuff. And sometimes, or I should say all the time, every time that I come in here and start pedaling around, I find something I was missing. I find something I could, oh my God, I could use that for that. You know, I've been missing that, whatever. And I've already done that today. It's not this. This is actually the cement core drill. Like, take out a piece of cement. I did that when I bought this when I was punching holes in those cement rings for the water tank. I thought this was a good idea. It wasn't that good of an idea. I can't remember though if I used this with my good drill or if I just tried to do it with my cheap hammer drill I bought. Maybe next time. But one of the things I found this morning was this. I don't know if you know what this is. It's a little spring. I don't know, is that a magnet? It might be like a magnet thing, but inside my old paint mixer, my electric paint mixer, which by the way, that needs a good dusting off. Well, most of that is cement, but it had one of those. It was a little bigger, actually a little bigger of a square, but it had one inside this end of it with a cap that screwed it down, and that made it you know, I don't even know what it does, but it made it, you need it for it to work. And I was using it, you know, months ago. I think I might have been moving my camera. Yeah, I've been using it months ago, and the vibration or whatever popped that thing out on the ground amongst a million leaves. I never found it. I couldn't find it. It was spring loaded, so it probably went pachoo. But I found these two, and they go to probably another device that I have that I don't remember that has that same kind of setup. There's probably a name for it, but I know that it was like this, and so there's a chance, a small chance, that I can use this same little one in that spinner, in that mixer, to see if it'll start. But before I do that, I need to discover, if I can, a black cap that will screw about the same size, that will screw in there to push that thing down. But I don't know. I don't know if I'll find that today. And you know, over the course of working on in here, there's always, like I say, a million different little screws and all this other stuff. And I thought I would also be in the shop today because I needed to take my mind off of actually not so much of the video making, but take my mind off my computer, because my computer took a big old crap yesterday. Yeah. And it's dead. You know, I'm pretty much good with computers, you know. I can take them all apart and put them all back together and do all that stuff, all the formatting and all that and all that and all that. Done it hundreds of times, if not thousands. But this computer was an old computer. You know, I bought it years ago, and I had since, you know, I've added memory to it, even changed the CPU and all this and that and the other thing to make it more updated and faster, so it could handle, you know, Windows and all that, 10 and all that when it came out. And but in the last few months, it's crashed a number of times. And although my stuff's backed up and all that, so I'm not too worried about any data loss or anything. More current stuff, it might not have backed up yet or whatever. Actually, I only have 5% left in the cloud, I think, for that one computer. But yeah, man, I worked with it all day yesterday. It bummed me out. You know, I took it apart, ran the test. I thought it was a power supply maybe at first, but I tested that one. It wasn't it. And then you go through the process of elimination. You just kind of unplug everything, and your power supply works, and you plug everything in one by one until something fails. Or, you know, unfortunately, this computer has a little self-test button on the back of the power supply. Maybe some of your computers do that, not all of them, but there's a little button you can push on it, and you know, the green light will turn green and shows your power supply is good or whatever. And then if you plug something in, do it again, it's still good, and you keep going down the line, and if something's bad, then it won't turn green, and may very well reveal that, oh, hey, your fan's bad or whatever. Oh, your motherboard is bad or whatever. So in my case, I think it was a motherboard, and or it appears to be. I didn't reset the CMOS chips or anything like that, but I did, you know, replace the battery and stuff. And anyway,
blah blah blah, a lot of computer talk, but it did take a big crap and it pissed me off. So I didn't want to spend, you know, another 70, 80,000 baht on a freaking new computer. I can't do that, man. I need computer. I want to do a lot of stuff, you know, in my videos and things like that, but it's not something that you know what, I think I'm gonna have to turn this. Maybe the fan is blowing that camera. I also have the fan where it's a little bit pointed towards the bottom, because underneath here, you know, that tend to be Mosquitoville in a rainy day, and so we don't like that. But anyway, yeah. So the computer took crap, and I don't want to spend, you know, 80,000 baht, 70,000 baht on a new computer. You know, I got rid of. When I sold everything to come to Thailand. One of the things I sold was my Mac Pro laptop, you know, and all the things that came with it, and another computer I had, you know, and I just said, well, you know, I can use this one. This one's good enough. You know, I fixed it up a little bit. It's fast enough to support my Adobe Premiere Elements software and those kind of things. But then that's really all I need. I mean, fortunately, you know, I'm not into big production stuff, you know. If I had 1 million subscribers on my channel or something like that, you know, I'd probably have a crew anyway. And they'd all have their own computers. But I'm not there, man. I'm just showing you my daily life as a retired guy in Thailand. And these are kind of some of the things you do. And if you want to share with people, you know, you can have a minimal computer. You don't need a big old badass one. So what I did, though, to rectify that, other than, you know, getting away from it, was I did go on Lazada and I started looking for computers. I was like, nah, you know. So then I went on the Facebook Marketplace locally, and there was a guy that actually had, you know, he's got a shop, obviously, has a whole bunch of postings, great reviews about all his computers. He refurbishes them and things like that, fixes them stuff, builds them or whatever, custom build if you want. And he actually had 4 of my computers, the same model. And I'm like, dude, this model's like, I don't even know how old it is. It's probably 10 years old. Let me see, 15, 19, maybe 7 years old. And so I shot him out. Dude, he's here in Cumbing Pit. And I was like, hey, man. And they were only like, he was selling them for 850 baht, which is nothing, right? Of course, it didn't have the hard drive and it didn't have any of the memory and all that stuff. But I have all that, so I could have easily swapped it into there. But he got back to me and he resold them all. So I was kind of bummed about that. So I went back on, or I you know, in the Facebook Marketplace, you can dictate how many miles or kilometers, in a sense, in an area of search. And so I released that so you can just search all over or whatever. And I found some guy in Samut Prakan, which is down by Bangkok, that actually had not my model, but like a 2-year newer model that, you know, they both had pluses and minuses, but when I went and reviewed them and stuff, it looked like the newer model did have better pluses. And the good thing about it is that obviously it can take my memory. So I think it actually comes though with at least 16 gigs of memory, but I have another 16, so if it's expandable to 32, then that'd be great, because I think mine are 8s. I forget what the specs said, but anyway, he was selling his for like 1,500 baht. So I just boom, 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 and then I sent him 1,500 baht, and he's posting it in Cary by, he said I'll put it out there by noon today, so, you know, if they leave after noon, you might get it in the evening, or you might get it tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that, get back on, maybe even a little bit faster of a computer. But hopefully that's the problem solved. You know, all the screws and all that stuff. And now, boom, it's back at it. All the bucket I used when I was doing the electrical, all my crap everywhere again. That's how quick it gets built up, because
you know, I'm doing stuff every day. All right, man. Well, hope you like that, and look forward to seeing what it looks like when I can get those angle iron bar cages up there. Have these babies mounted up there in style. All right, man. Thanks for watching, and keep watching for more wicked welding here on the Bond Dock.